What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and today's video is another review of another strength program on Peloton. It's actually a collection, and I feel like I see nobody talk about these. So I'm very, very curious. It is the Pump Up the Volume collections, and I'm going to do Pump Up the Volume 1, but there are 10 collections of this strength program collection on Peloton, so they've definitely heavily invested into it. I do think that it's meant for guide users predominantly, but I've always done programs without the guide. I've never had an issue. And yeah, I just find it interesting that there's so many different versions of this collection, and I don't see anyone talk about it. So it's time to figure out what's up. The description of this collection is add more volume to your workout. Over 4 weeks, our instructors will take you through programmatic classes while gradually increasing your reps, load, and volume. Take the classes on guide for added metrics. And the way that this collection is set up is each week is a different instructor. So we have Rebecca Kennedy, Jess Sims, Adrian Williams, and then Jermaine Johnson. And in my opinion, that's a pretty solid strength lineup. So I feel like these classes should be good. And they are 20 minutes 3 times a week. So definitely not a huge strength commitment. Like some of those strength programs, you're doing 30, 40, 50 minutes of strength work a day. But I feel like it should be a good one. And I'm just so curious what this is like. It kind of sounds like we're going to be doing the same work while just adding weight and reps throughout the weeks. And if so, that sounds like something I would really like. So we'll see. So today we're going to start off week 1, day 1, which is a 20-minute lower body class tagged intermediate from September 19th, 2022 by Rebecca Kennedy. So this is kind of an old class, but I'm very interested to see what it's like if we get some more information about this collection. So let's go hit the mat and knock out week 1, day 1. That was a good first class, and before the class even started, Rebecca is like, yeah, this program is going to build on top of each other. You're either going to go up in reps, time, or weight each week. So this sounds like something I'll really like, so we'll see. Today was definitely a good first day. It was lower body, and we did a lot of lower body moves that I liked. We started off, we had a 2-minute body weight warm-up. That was fine. Then we got into our first move, which was an RDL. She did explain how to do RDLs, which I thought was interesting because it is tagged as an intermediate class. So in my opinion, you shouldn't have to be explaining basic strength moves, but it's fine. It didn't bother me at all. We did 30 seconds of body weight RDLs, which was kind of just a continuation of the warm up. And then she's grab light weights and do it for 30 seconds. At the beginning of the class, she said to grab basically light, medium, heavy, where light was specifically to ramp up your RDLs. Medium were things like lunges, and heavy were the RDLs themselves. And I just grabbed 20 and 25s. I feel like I don't need to do RDLs that are less than 20. I can push myself. I did want to push myself kind of aggressively this week so that as the weeks progress, I actually continuously push myself and push weight even more. So we did 30 seconds of lightweight RDLs, and then we got into our actual set, which was just 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 8 to 10 RDLs with your heavy weight, so 25 pounds. 25 pounds is a good weight for me for RDLs. I definitely see myself pushing to 30 later in this program. But yeah, I thought it was a good start and no complaint. I love RDLs, so that was good. Then we had a little bit of our rest and we went down to our medium weight. So that was 20 pounds for me, and did 30 seconds of reverse lunges on one side, 30 seconds on the other side, then 30 seconds lateral lunge on one side, and then 30 seconds lateral lunge on the other side with 15 seconds rest in between each move. And again, I feel like 20 pounds is the right weight for me for now for that. It felt good. We were also aiming for 8 to 10 reps, I think, and I got 10 reps on the reverse lunges, but the lateral lunges, I could definitely work on getting a little bit faster. It's nice to have something to improve on if we're going to be doing these same moves in the coming week. Then we did 30 seconds of single leg deadlift on one side, 30 seconds on the other side, 15-second rest, and we repeated that set again. And then we finished off with 40 seconds of dumbbell squats, 30 seconds of goblet squats, 30 seconds of bodyweight squat, and then 20 seconds of squat jump for like a little squat finisher at the end. So although this was 20 minutes, like we did a lot of moves. We did lunges, we did the deadlifts, we did the squats. I feel like we did everything that you'd want to do in a lower body set. So I'm interested to see in the coming weeks if it's going to be like the exact same format or what, because it's going to be a different instructor too. So I'm just very curious how this will be structured, but today was good. Enjoyability, I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Nothing like super interesting or enjoyable, but I do think it's effective. We got the work done. Rebecca was kind of in a silly mood, like she was doing some dance parties. I think it is funny because it is kind of an old class, so I do think that her style has changed a little bit, but it was still an enjoyable class. Difficulty, I would give it like a 7 out of 10. I definitely think that she's leaving some room to grow, and I did like push myself on weights pretty hard, but we always got like a good amount of recovery. And yeah, it felt good. I am just curious how this fits in with the rest of the program for now, but so far, so good. It is now the next day, and we're going to jump right on into week 1, day 2, which is a 20-minute upper body class by Rebecca Kennedy, tagged intermediate from September 19th, 2022. And I usually like upper body, and if it was structured like yesterday, I'll definitely like this class. So I'm excited. Let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and knock out class 2. That was another good strength class, very similar in structure to yesterday's class, which is always good. I love predictability, but obviously today was upper body. Rebecca said to grab light, medium, and heavy weights, and I just grabbed 15 and 20 because I kind of want to shift away from like using 10-pound weights for arm workouts, and I feel like if I grab them, I'm way more likely to go down to them. So there was definitely some pushes in this class, but it was manageable. It felt good. We started off with the chest press laying on your back. And this, again, Rebecca is like, use your light weights the first time, and then we're going to do a straight set. So we'll do the heavy weights for 3 times. I just used 15 pounds the first time. And then for the 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, I went up to 20 pounds. I was considering 25 pounds, but I'm glad that I stuck with a 20. Like, I feel like there could be potential for growth in the future, but it was not easy. I think we were supposed to get 10 or 12 reps in the 30 seconds, so definitely not a slow pace, but with the 30 seconds of recovery, it felt good. Then we went into the next set, which were first skull crushers, where you could use 1 heavyweight or 2 medium or light weights. I used 1 heavyweight. Then reverse flies, which man, oh man, that was definitely hard with the 15 pounds, but I'm proud of myself for getting through them. And then standing chest flies, which again, I used 15 pounds. It was definitely hard. Like, I could have gone down to the 10, but I think 10 would have been too easy. So I'm glad that I pushed up to the 15. Each of these moves was 45 seconds on with 15 seconds recovery. I believe we're supposed to hit 10 to 12, and I was hitting it on this set. So it felt pretty good. We did that set twice. And then we had a killer set at the end, which I liked, but it was hard. We did 40 seconds of bicep curls, 40 seconds of hammer curls, 40 seconds of overhead presses, got 10 seconds of transition before 45 seconds of tricep push-ups. And I used my medium weights. That's what she said to use. That was hard. It was killer, especially the bicep curls and the hammer curls because, you know, they use similar muscles. And you were supposed to be hitting, I believe, 12 for all of these, and I was not hitting 12, so definitely something I can work on in the future. And then we got a 10-second rest and repeated that set again. So definitely a burnout set at the end, but it's something that I can see myself improve upon. But yeah, it was hard. I just feel like I don't beat myself up as much anymore if I don't hit the number of reps she says. Like, I just try my best. And, you know, I think we'll repeat this in future weeks, so hopefully I can see some progress there. I do think 15 pounds was a good push for this set. Like, it was a challenge, but 10 pounds would have been too easy. And then the class was over. I feel like it really flies by with the 20 minutes. But I really like this class. Enjoyability, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. I think it was effective. I like the moves, no real complaints. Difficulty, I would also give like an 8 out of 10. I feel like I was pushing the weights pretty aggressively, but that's what I wanted to do. And I feel like then that made it a pretty difficult class. But it was good. It was enjoyable. Rebecca was in a great mood as always, and I'm excited to wrap up the week next time. It's now 2 days later and we're ready to wrap up week 1. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit sore yesterday in my arms from this collection. But that's a good thing. It means we're working hard. I'm pushing the weight and I feel good today, ready to tackle the last class, which is a 20-minute full body strength class, week 1, day 3, tagged intermediate by Rebecca Kennedy from September 19th, 2022. The last Rebecca Kennedy class in this collection. It's definitely interesting. I'm very curious to see how it is to like switch instructors next week. But I do really like Rebecca, so it is a little sad that today is the last class, but I guarantee she will bring it. Full body, I expect upper body, core, and lower body. We're gonna kill it today. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and wrap up week 1. I absolutely love that class, and looking back, like the class plan is good, but it's not anything exceptional. But I just feel like it hit a bunch of moves that I liked. The music was good, Rebecca was great. Like we had a good amount of push, a good amount of recovery. I was just like vibing during this class. It was very enjoyable. So I'm hoping that the workout plan is like the same for day 3s for the coming weeks because yeah, today, like no notes. We did a 2-minute bodyweight warm up. And then Rebecca said to grab light, medium, and heavy weights. Light weights are just to practice the straight set that we did in every class. And I was like, I don't need that. So I just grabbed 15 and 20. She did say the straight set was rows. So I was thinking 25 because sometimes I do push up to 25 pounds for like alternating rows. But I was like, no, I'm going to stick with 20 this time and then like see, and I can adjust in later weeks. And I do think the 15 and 20 were good weights for me. So this straight set was just a bent over row, but she like really wanted you basically parallel to the ground. Like she's like, when you're starting the row, you should essentially be in the downward position of a deadlift. So you are like really, really forward. And I think that does make it harder. And obviously it wasn't alternating. So 20 pounds felt good. We did 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and we're aiming for 8 to 10 reps. So I could do 10 reps in the 30 seconds and it felt good, felt like a good push, but I definitely wasn't getting like extra recovery time. And towards the end, I felt more tired. And we did that once with like the light weights. So I used 15 and then 3 times with our heavy weights. So I like rows. That was already a good move. Then we got into a little 6-minute set, which was 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. Rebecca said to use your medium weights, but I actually used my 20 pounds, which maybe you do consider that the medium weights for the first 2 moves, which were front lunges and dumbbell single leg deadlifts. You were only supposed to do 8 to 10 reps, which the front lunges, I had a lot of extra time for the 45 seconds. So I feel like using 15 pounds like wouldn't have been appropriate. It would have been like way too easy. I was even getting recovery on the 20 pounds. So potentially in the future, I might need to push to 25. The 20 pounds for the single leg deadlift felt good. And I did the 10 in the 45 seconds. Like I needed the full 45 seconds. And then the last move was an overhead press, which I did go down to my 15 pounds. It was a little confusing because she's like, oh, you should be using heavy weights for shoulder presses, but also like your heavy weights for shoulder presses might be different than your heavy weights for deadlifts because it's smaller muscles. And 15 pounds for shoulder presses are starting to feel a little bit easy for me, but I am nervous about going up to 20 because I feel like my form can get really bad on shoulder presses, like really, really fast if it's too heavy. I would love a 17.5 pound dumbbell, but alas, we do not have that here. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try to push up to it, but I do feel like 15 pounds I can get really good form in, and like it still is a push. Like I do feel like I'm working. So we'll see as the program progresses. But We did those 3 moves twice. And then we went into another like straight set where we did 30 seconds of snatches and then 30 seconds off. We repeated that 3 times. She said, use your heavy weight. I used 20. I feel like that was good. You know, you're taking it, throwing it up. I love snatches again. So I was vibing out to this. And then we finished with a little core section, but it was pretty much all planks. So really no complaints. Like I don't like core, but I can do planks. So we did 30-second forearm plank, 30-second forearm side plank, and then on the other side, another 30 seconds of the side plank, 15 seconds rest, and then finish it off with 30 seconds of mountain climbers. And then the class was over. It just does go by really fast with the 20-minute classes. But yeah, today, phenomenal, like literally no notes. I liked all of the moves that we did. I feel like front lunges is probably my least favorite move, and like I'm very okay with front lunges still. Like there was no jump squats. I don't know, there's no push-ups. It might be a bad thing that I'm not like doing a lot of moves that I don't like, but yeah, today was a good day. It was a fun day. It's a great way to wrap up week 1. Enjoyability, like 9.5 out of 10. I might even go as far to say 10 out of 10. I was just really, really vibing today in today's class. Difficulty, I would give maybe like a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Definitely not the most difficult thing ever, and you did get a lot of recovery, which I appreciated. But I do feel like we like pushed ourselves, and you can always push weight if you feel like it's too easy. And I feel like Rebecca was like acknowledging that. Like she's like, if you have too much time left over, like you need to be going up in weight, you need to be pushing yourself harder. A great way to wrap up week 1. And now I'm excited and curious how week 2 will go with a brand new instructor. It is now the following Monday, and we're ready to get into week 2 of Pump Up the Volume, Volume 1. And new instructor this week, it is Jess Sims. I absolutely love Jess Sims, so I feel like this should be a good week. Rebecca started us off strong last week. I feel like Jess Sims will continue. So today's class is a 20-minute lower body week 2, day 1 class by Jess Sims, tagged intermediate, from September 26th, 2022. And yeah, the music looks like pop and rap. Should be a fun time. And it's also nice because I'm assuming it's similar to week 1, day 1. So I already kind of know what to expect. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and knock out week 2, day 1. That class was basically the same exact class as week 1, day 1, which no complaints. We definitely pushed time sometimes and pushed reps sometimes. I personally didn't push weight. I grabbed the same weights as last time, and I feel like the weights were right. Like it was definitely a harder class. So it just said to grab medium and heavy. I grabbed 20 and 25, knowing that our straight set is the deadlift. So I wanted to use 25 pounds for the deadlifts. We did a 2-minute body weight warm up. That was great. Then we got straight into our straight set. So we used our lighter weights for like a warm-up set. I used 20 pounds. That was good. That was also what Jess was doing. I feel like last week, like Rebecca really pushed you to have super light weights, but Jess is like, no, like 20 pounds is fine. We aimed for 12 reps when we were using the lighter weights, and then we went into the actual straight set, which was 40 seconds long, 30 seconds off, instead of 30 seconds from last week. So 10 seconds longer, and we were aiming for 10 reps. I hit the 10 reps, and the first set felt good, but the second and third were definitely like push sets to continue at kind of a fast pace with my 25 pounds. So I didn't know if I should try to push to 30, but I feel like the 25 pounds was good. It was hard. It was a push, but we did it, and I hit all the reps, which felt good. So maybe next week I'll try to push a little bit more, but this week it felt good. Then the next set was 30 seconds reverse lunges, 15 seconds rest, 30 seconds lateral lunges, 15 seconds rest. And this was really hard. We were aiming for 10 reps, and I pretty much hit 10 reps every time. I was using my 20 pounds, but my heart rate was like skyrocketing during this. It was like 150, which is really high for me for strength. I just feel like there wasn't a lot of time for recovery. The reverse lunges, I could pretty comfortably do the 10 reps, but like not with a lot of extra time. And the lateral lunges, like I had to keep my pace up and like consciously be like trying to go fast to make sure I was doing the 10 reps. I hit the rep goal every single time except for one on the left side, lateral lunges. I only got 9. So it felt good. It was a push, but I was ready for the recovery after that. And we did it on each side twice. So we did reverse lunges 4 times, twice on each side, and the same with lateral lunges. So definitely a little bit of a burnout set, but it was like in the middle. And then we did dumbbell single leg deadlifts. I stuck with the 20 pounds, 45 seconds on each side, and we were aiming for 12 to 15 reps. I did 12. I am a slow single leg deadlift person, but it felt good. It was a push. Yeah, you could really feel your butt working. During the class, Jess was like, we're switching between hamstrings and thighs, except your butt is always working. Your butt does not get a break. And I'm like, true. Once we got to the single leg deadlifts again, I was like, I can feel it. And then I knew this was coming because I remembered it from last week. There was the dumbbell burnout set at the end where we did dumbbell squats, goblet squats, bodyweight squats, and squat jumps. She wanted a pretty aggressive rep count. For the dumbbell squats and goblet squats, we had like 40 seconds-ish. And I believe she said 12 to 15. But for the bodyweight squats and squat jumps, we only had like 20 to 30 seconds. And she was like 15 to 18. I mean, I understand we don't have weights anymore, but I was not hitting that rep count. But it did the job. It was a good squat burnout at the end. And then the class was over. I don't know what it is. I do think that she was pushing volume more this class, but this class felt way harder than week 1, day 1, but it was good. 20 minutes, like Jess is wasting no time. We really got in there, got all the moves in, and got out. It is interesting how like the moves and the class plan is very, very similar, but it like feels different instructor to instructor based on their vibe. I feel like Rebecca is a little more like chill, still hard work, but chill, while Jess is like, let's get moving, let's go, and really amps you up. So I really like today. Difficulty, I would give like an 8 out of 10. We worked, especially during the reverse lunges and lateral lunges. I definitely thought that was the hardest part. And enjoyability, I would give like an 8.5 out of 10. I did really enjoy it. I love Jess. The vibes were good. And it's always fun to like push yourself. And I feel like this class was good for that. So overall, a great way to kick off week 2. It is now the next day and my butt is a little bit sore from yesterday's workout, but today is upper body, so I think we can power through. Today's class is a 20-minute upper body, week 2, day 2, tagged intermediate by Jess Sims from September 26th, 2022. And I know that the chest press is the straight set today. I'm ready to push it. And yeah, I just think Jess will really bring it because she really amped up last class. I think she's going to amp up this one. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and knock out this strength class. Another great class, very similar to week 1, day 2, as expected, but I did push myself today. So Jess said to grab light weights, which we just used for our ramp up of the straight set, medium weights, and heavy. She had 10, 15, and 25, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna send it today. Last week I did 20 pounds for the chest presses. This week I grabbed 25. I knew it was gonna be very hard. It was very hard, but we got through the set and I'm proud of myself for pushing myself. I have done 25 pounds in the past, but honestly, A, it's been a hot second, and B, it's always been hard. So I'm happy to have pushed myself a little hard today. So we had the 2-minute bodyweight warm up. That was good. Then we got into our wide grip chest press straight set. So we did 30 seconds of the ramp up weight. That was fine. Then we did the same structure as yesterday, which is 40 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So a little bit of a progression from last week. And we were aiming for 10 to 12 reps. The first time I did the whole 12 reps. The second 2 times we did the set, I did 10 reps. It was getting a little ugly at the end. Definitely a huge push for me, but I'm happy. And yeah, from now on, I'm going to try to stick at the 25 and just try to get some more reps in. Then we went into our next set, which I did with my 15 pounds. And that was a push in itself. It was 45 seconds of tricep kickbacks, 45 seconds of reverse flies, and then 45 seconds of standing chest fly. Very similar to the set we did last week. And we did that set 2 times, 15 seconds recovery in between all the moves. That was hard. The reverse flies for 15 pounds is quite hard for me. Honestly, the chest flies is also a push. We were aiming for 10 to 12 reps for all of these, I believe, and I was hitting 10. Whatever reps she was counting out after the chest presses, I was hitting the lower amount of reps. So, there is room for progression in the future. But it was a hard set, and I was feeling pretty tired from those chest presses. And then the last set was 45 seconds of wide grip overhead press, 45 seconds of hammer curl, 15 seconds of rest, and then 30 seconds of tricep push-ups. Again, I used my 15 pounds. This was the right weight for me. Again, I think we were trying to do 10 to 12. I was hitting 10. And the tricep push-ups I was doing on my knees. Those are hard. I think we were aiming for 10 reps for those as well, and I was hitting that. And we also did that set twice, and then the class was over. I feel like the 20 minutes really flies by, but today was a good day. It was a hard day. I did stretch out afterwards, but I feel like I will be sore tomorrow. But I'm really proud of myself for pushing the weight this week. Jess was in a great mood. She was really amping us up. She really encouraged me to go up the weight. I feel like all the instructors tell you to, but yeah, Jess was like, just do it. So it felt good, felt hard, and I'm excited to see how I can progress this more because today was already pretty hard. So enjoyability, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. I do like pretty much all the moves. I feel like it's structured well, and obviously it feels good to go up in weight, see progress. Difficulty, I would give a 8.5 out of 10 as well. It was hard, but there was definitely a decent amount of recovery. I never felt like it was completely impossible. And I like that she gives a range of reps. So I was hitting what she was saying, but I was on the low end. So now I know I can make it harder in the future and I can get stronger and see progress. So today felt good and I'm excited to wrap up the week. It is now 2 days later. My arms were a bit sore yesterday, but honestly, not too bad. Not as sore as my legs from the day before, but we have fully recovered today. We are ready to attack the last day of the week, which is a 20-minute full body strength class, week 2, day 3 by Jess Sims, Tiger Intermediate from September 26th, 2022. And I'm excited. I expect it to be amped up, but we're ready to go this morning. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and knock out this last strength class. I liked that class, but surprisingly, I didn't love it. I feel like I liked Jess's other 2 classes compared to last week, where day 3 was definitely my favorite class. We did do roughly the same moves, so they were moves that I really liked, but I feel like I was already prepared for that because I knew what last week's day 3 was. So then I don't know if my expectations were too high. It wasn't a bad class. I just feel I don't know, it felt kind of low energy, but I don't know if it's because I'm low energy and I'm reflecting on the class or not. It's very interesting because I do feel my opinions on classes depend so much on my mood, and I don't particularly feel bad today or it would be a bad class, but I don't know, it just felt okay. But we did our 2-minute body weight warm up, and then Jess said to grab medium and heavy. She had 15 and 25. I knew the straight set was bent over row, and I knew last week with the 20 pounds it was hard, so I grabbed 15 and 20 pounds to start. And I do want to try to push up to 25 pounds on the rows, but 20 just feels still really hard. The goal was, I believe, 10 to 12 reps, and the first 2 sets I got the 12 reps, but the last set I only got 10 because I was so tired. And when I was getting the 12 reps, it was I was getting them just as she was counting down. But we did a warm-up set with our lighter weight, so I used 15, and then we got into 3 30-second on, 30-second off sets, aimed for 10 to 12 reps, and that was the straight set. It felt good. I do like rows. And then we got into our next set, which was 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, front lunges, single leg deadlifts, and wide grip overhead presses. Jess said to use your moderate, medium weights the whole time. I personally went up to 20 pounds for the front lunges and the single leg deadlifts, and then went down to 15 pounds for the overhead press. I feel 20 pounds is the right weight. Honestly, I might need to go up to 25 for the front lunge because I was finishing very quickly. but I definitely can't do 20 pounds for the overhead press. I did try just to see what it would feel like because I can do the 15 pounds like relatively fast, but the 20 pounds felt very, very bad. But next time I do think I might try to push the front lunge just because I was getting a lot of recovery time there. But the set was also good. We did it twice. I like all the moves, so no real complaints. Then we got into dumbbell snatches, which was 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off 3 times. I actually went and got a 25-pound dumbbell for this. I feel like I like dumbbell snatches a lot. The 20 pounds feels good. The 25 was definitely a push, but I think it was a push I needed. So I was happy to have gone up the weight in that. And like, I don't think I've ever done 25-pound snatches before. So it was cool to try out and like not completely fail. Definitely hard. And I don't know if I was hitting all the rep goals. I think we were aiming for 10. I usually got like 9. So I was close and I am happy with going up the weight there. And then we just finished with a little plank finisher. We did forearm plank, forearm side plank, and then the other side, rest 30 seconds, and then repeat that again. And we did 20 seconds of each move. So that was good. I find planks like fairly easy, so really no complaints there. And then the class was done. Another good class, like no real complaints. I don't know. I don't know why. I just felt low energy. I don't know if it was Jess. Like the music was good. She was cheery as normal, but I feel like it didn't stand out to me as much as last week's Rebecca Kennedy's class. But it is interesting because I feel like I liked Jess's last 2 classes more and this one less. So it just like depends on the day, depends on the instructor, depends on a lot of things. For difficulty, I would give this class like a 7 out of 10. Maybe I need to be pushing the weights a little bit more, but I'm also like very comfortable with these moves, which is why I liked it so much in the first week. So that makes it less difficult. And then enjoyability, I would give like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. It wasn't unenjoyable, but I just feel like it was not that memorable to me. So I'm going to wrap this video here and start a new video on weeks 3 and 4. I am going home to Pennsylvania this week, so I think I'm gonna have to take a week break. But that's another nice thing about these collections. It's really easy to do compared to the programs, which is good and bad. Like it doesn't force me to not take a break, but it allows me to like fit it into my schedule more. But overall, I have been really enjoying this program and I'm happy that there's so many volumes of this because I could definitely see myself taking future volumes. I like the repetitive work, but I like the different instructors so it doesn't feel like you're just taking the same class over and over again. Like it's kind of like split training, but you are like just having different instructors because you are doing very, very similar moves week to week, but it does feel a little bit different because it's a new class, which I am a fan of. So I'm happy that there's a lot of volumes and I can take more in the future, but let me know if you've taken these collections. I really don't see a lot of talk about them. I know this one is fairly old, but like there's 10 of them. I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone talk about any of them. If you have taken them, what's your favorite volume? What volume should I check out next? But that is it for this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.